here, the Frugal Crafter. It is Sat Chat time. This is not a tutorial. FYI, we're just hanging out. How's your weekend going? I've been very busy this week. I felt a little overwhelmed, and I just didn't feel like doing the most today. I washed my hair yesterday, but I didn't do anything to it other than just kind of like throw some like mousse and gel in and just let it go naturally wavy. And today I didn't brush it, so I still have some of the waves, and I'm like, you know what? This is what we're doing. This is what we're gonna go. We're gonna lean in to the waves, and we are going to, you know, I don't know, scrunch our hair, act like we're going to a Def Leppard concert, and, you know, call it good enough. Good enough. Good enough for the weekend. I hope you're having a great weekend. I hope it's going well. I've been kind of, have you ever had this feeling, have you ever walked your dog and your dog is running and you're trying to keep up with the dog, and eventually like you got to drop the leash because you were gonna face plant if you don't. That's kind of how I felt this week. I've kind of been like ebbing between overwhelm, freeze response, and okay, run right in there and get some work done. So I'm glad that we're just about at the weekend. I did want to go to a class on Sunday, but I'm just like, oh my word, it's quite a drive away, and I'm just tired. I don't want to drive. I feel like I need to have less planned. So I had actually texted my kids. We have like a little group on Snapchat, and I said, because one of my daughters is leaving to do a semester abroad in a couple weeks, and the other two are, you know, the one's back to their college, and my son doesn't live with us. He has an apartment about 20 minutes away. So I was trying to figure out if there's a time everyone would come over, and, you know, I'll make pizza, because I like to anything bread related I'm pretty good at. I'm not a great cook, but if it's like bread related, I'm pretty good at that. I'm good at bread. So I'll make some homemade pizza dough, and then we'll just do our own toppings, whatever we want to do, and just be a time to like hang out. There might be football on actually on Sunday, and one of my daughters and my son like football. My husband loves football, so it might just be kind of a nice cozy fall day. So we're gonna do that on Sunday. So I went to the grocery store last night, and I had to go to the grocery store because we're out of dog food. So it could not be avoided. The dog had its last serving for breakfast. It's like, okay, I gotta go to the grocery store. And $140 later, I walked out of the grocery store with so many treasures, so many things, including some pizza toppings. So that should all be good. Oh, this is pretty much the only store I go to. And to be fair, I don't do the grocery shopping usually. My husband does because he's in town every day. But he forgot the dog food last time he was there, so I ran in. I'm the type of person that doesn't go by the list so much. I mean, I'll look at the list and I'll get everything that's on the list, but I have a hard time thinking about what I might want to cook or might want to eat. So I kind of have to organically walk through the store and see what inspires me. So hence my going to the grocery store for dog food and pizza topping ends up with like all sorts of random other things that I didn't even know existed or I needed until I went to the grocery store. But that's kind of how it goes sometimes. So luckily the dog is all set. And I was when I'm feeling kind of stressed out, I will like attack some sort of, I call it I call it ProCRAFTinating sometimes, or procrastinating. It's like, I know I should be working on this thing. This is my priority this week. However, that thing is big and scary and I don't know what to do, so I'm gonna go clean this random corner of the hallway where the cat box lives because I was noticing it was kind of gross and dusty around there. You know, so stuff like that. So I've tackled a few little projects like that. But the thing I had to get done this week that was the absolute most important, last week the most important thing was setting up the newsletter for the Italy retreat, which is full, but if you want to join the wait list, I'll leave a link to that in the video description. That way if anyone backs out of the trip, you can be notified to grab the spot. But that went well, so that was a big relief. But then I also found out that the launch date for my latest Sketchbook Floozy stencils is going to be the 12th, which is next Friday. And so I'll show you what we have coming up. You get the first sneak peek. You get the first sneak peek, guys. So we have 3 template packs that are the thin regular templates. I'll show you those in a second. But the thing I'm really excited about is the universal template. And what I wanted to come up with was something that, if, you know, because the template packs are great. So the original Sketchbook Floozy stencils, which will be re-released, I'm not sure if they'll be out on the 12th with these new ones or if they're going to be next month or something like that. But so with the original templates, you have the template, which is a design, but then you can turn it. So then you got 4 designs, but then you flip it, then you turn it, you get 4 more designs. So each template would be 8 designs and you get 2 templates per pack. So that was pretty versatile. So you get 16 options from a pack. Plus you can always use the middles, because I have them include the middles, so you can use those to make even more options. So you do get a lot of option with those, but it's not like, it's not totally 100% customizable universal. And so I was racking my brains on how I can make something like that that would be truly universal. So that way not only sketchbook artists could use it, but comic book artists, you know, to make their cells for the comic books. Scrapbookers could use it to make their like color block a layout. Card makers could use it. I wanted it to be like, and it could be used for whatever size. So I've got this 12 by 12 template. It's going to be coming out next Friday. So I filmed like a 1-minute, I just want to do kind of like a video that would show you how to use it in case you're looking at it and scratching your head like, what the heck? But anyways, it has a series of vertical and horizontal slits in it so that you can draw your boxes however you want to, kind of mark them out with a pencil. And then the corners of the template, you've got a 90-degree square. So if you want to draw your boxes with a square, use this to outline it, because you kind of make like little, you'd make like little tick marks how big you want your boxes, and then you use the outside of the template to draw the borders with like a pen or whatever. And then I wanted 3 different rounds of corners so that you could round either just the 4 corners of your whole layout, just do the outside 4 corners, or you could do every cell. You have different radiuses, and you've got a square mark, then you've got journal lines in here too. So I wanted to have a little video, but I was like, oh, how am I gonna make that concise? And that was what was really stressing me out this week, like trying to figure out a way to make that concise so that it's like step 1, do this, step 2, do this. And so finally I recorded myself making a bunch of layouts. And then, so I had all this footage, and that was even more overwhelming. And so I'm thinking about, so then I decided I would write the copy for it. Because I used to be in radio, and part of your job in radio was you had to write commercials, you had to write copy. And so, and you always had to keep your copy to like 30 minutes or 60 minutes, 30 seconds or 60 seconds. So I'm still pretty good at that. I still can remember how to do that. So I wrote basically a 60-second spot for it with a step 1, step 2, step 3. I tend to be really long-winded. So I just wanted to be this like really kind of quick snippet. If somebody is looking at the product at Craft Stash, they could be like, how the heck do you use that? They could watch it, and within a minute they could decide whether it's for them or not, basically. But then, you know, because I'm so verbose, and because it's like I want to, you know, have all these ideas and I want to show the most, I'm like, I should have 10 different layouts done. It takes a long time to do a sketchbook layout. It's like, I need to get this done. And also I didn't have my final stencil until about a week ago, because with the process of getting them manufactured, you get prototypes, but then like, okay, that's not quite right, send it back, you know, it needs to be this, it needs to be thicker, it needs to be this, it needs to be that. So there's a lot of back and forth to get it just right. And so then when you finally, and then there were some shipping issues from the UK to the USA, and you know, things were just delayed, so I was kind of like on a time crunch, but yeah, so I got that done, and I'm really happy with it. I think that's going to be, it kind of, honestly, it does kind of make the other stencils redundant, because you can do whatever you want with that, just that one stencil, but you also have to know what you want to do, or whereas if you just take one of the older stencils, you just slap it down and draw it, and it's a lot more, it's already done for you, basically. So just depends on how much versatility and customization you want, versus how much do you just want the idea already there that you can just throw down on the paper and have it done for you, I guess. But I like how this will go with whatever size, and if it's a bigger than a 12 by 12 sketchbook, which I can't imagine, but if it is, you can just slide the template over and keep on trucking, which I like. So I'm really proud of that. That was a lot of work in the making, you know, because I'm trying, like, no, I mean this, you know, and I'm like drawing stuff out with a pencil and on grid paper, because like I don't design on the computer. I'm not a graphic designer, you know, like I speak with words and I can sketch something with a pencil, but the less the computer's involved, the more I'm an analog gal. The more comfortable I am, the more skilled I am with that sort of thing. So anyway, it's great. It worked out. Plus then you're like, oh, there's also manufacturing limitations to how many holes you can put in something and how many slits you can put in something before it like falls apart or cracks or is not like, you know, durable anymore. So it was a good balance. I think it's gonna work out really well. And yeah, I'll post a little promo for that next Friday when it's available. And then you'll be able to go check it out if you want. And then the other packs that we have, I want to do something with hexagons because I did a hexagon layout in, I think it was this white sketchbook. And I loved how it came out and it was so fun. It was just something different. I find that like sometimes I get stuck for ideas, and if I can think of a fun, like if I just change up a shape or divide up my page a little differently, it just, it kind of gives me a different perspective and it makes it easier to do. This was a sketch from the Cryptozoology Museum, and I loved that hexagon and being able to mix in different sizes. So we just have some hexagons, rectangles, corners, things like that. So it's not the layout that you lay down and just trace over one thing. It's more of like you move the pieces around and create the layout you want. And then we've got similar idea with the circles there, but then we've got a grid, so you can actually kind of use that like the universal template and connect different ones. If you want to make bigger squares and rectangles, you can. I'm also going to do some faux postage with that, you know, because I think that would be kind of a fun little idea. Not the most, you know, I've done that before with cardstock or an acetate like a million years ago, so it's not like a new idea. Other people do it too. But I thought it'd be another way to use a template. And I also used it for some swatches that, let's see, where's that sketchbook? I think it's under here. I've got so many sketchbooks. I'm such a sketchbook floozy, on brand at least. So I took the grid stencil and I drew it a couple different times. I traced it twice. And then I just started mixing colors because I was reviewing a new set of watercolors, the Light Wish set of 48, and I just wanted to see how, like, if I just took random colors and slapped them together in the grid. I love the way this looks. I just absolutely love this. How cute would that be for a background? I put lines across them because I thought I was gonna just swatch the colors, but they actually came with a swatch card, and then it came with little stickers that had the pigment information, so I made just my big swatch card anyway, so I didn't need to do that. So I'm like, oh, let's just mix some colors, and I mean, oh, so pretty. Just playing with colors can be inspiring, you know? So that's what I did there. Well, that's one of the layouts. I didn't have time to do a bunch of full page layouts, but so easy to just lay out. That probably isn't going to show up on camera, but so easy just to put a bunch of layouts together. And I love that because I could take a sketchbook that's a bigger one, like a 9x12, and I can section off many pages, and then as I'm, you know, wandering around doing some sketching, I'm just doing a little portion of it. And when you're doing your sketches like that, none of the sketches have to be fantastic, right? But the combination of them all together, well, I'll show you this one. I've shown you this before, but let me show you. Something about the combination of them together is just fantastic. I just love it. Like, when you look at this layout here I did at Fields Pond, they had a paint out there one day. None of these are fantastic on their own, but when you put them all together, it amplifies them, and it just looks so cool, I think, anyway. So yeah, lots of stuff coming down the pike. And speaking of Light Wish, I reviewed their watercolor. That's coming up, I think, in like 2 weeks. But yeah, it's a white labeled set. We've seen it before. It's actually a good one. But you know, sometimes you get some of the like, ooh, those are not good. These are actually good. But we've seen it before. That's all I'm going to say about that. You have to watch, you have to watch the video for more information. Or maybe you'll be like, I don't need to see what I've seen before. But something else that is interesting, Light Wish asked me if I wanted to try their new paint box. And then I saw, this must be new to like Alibaba or something, because I saw another company, looked like a dropship company, advertising this on Facebook for like twice the price. This is a little, it has the little screw on the bottom, so you can hook it to a tripod if you want to. It's got these, it's got like a little screw on the side, which is, it has this like little wrist strap. At first I thought this little plug here was for putting into the thumb screw so that you keep dirt out of it, but you know, I think it's so that if you want, you can put it here in there to like hold it. But that just showed that I could actually put it on a canvas canvas, a tripod like that if I wanted to, if I didn't want to use a watercolor, if I wanted to have it upright, or you can have it like that on a tripod. But it comes with a clip, so you can clip your paper up there. It doesn't come with paint, you put your own paint in it. It has a little brass cup, and it's got a space for a brush. It doesn't come with a brush, but obviously you can put your own. I'd probably use a water brush because that's not a big enough water cut for me, so I'd probably just use a water brush and put a sponge in there. But pretty neat. This was going, I've seen this from a couple different companies on Amazon. This from Lightwish, it's under $70, and there was like a $7 coupon. And for the company I saw on Facebook, which is the exact same thing, it was like, they were saying regular 200 and something, and they had it on sale for like 150, so it was like double what Lightwish was charging. So I did want to show you that because they were advertising heavily, and so I'm like, you're probably going to see this ad, and this is very well made. It's very tempting, but I don't want you to pay $150 when you can get it for $70 if it's something you want and need. But I will have a review on this. I had to put some paint in it and let it dry up a bit, but I'm going to take it up on the deck and put it on a tripod and see how I like it. You can set it on the table, but the cup is gonna pop up a bit. And you can close it with a cup in there if you want. It was just gonna stick out the bottom. But I thought that was really interesting, and when they asked me if I'd like to review it, I'm like, yeah, absolutely. That actually looks really nice. I don't know if I'd use it with a tripod or not. I find that I am more likely to use a French easel if I'm out and about painting, if I'm going to use oils or pastel, because I have like the drawers that I can switch out for that. And I've had the French easel since high school, so it's something I'm very comfortable with. I'm very used to it. Even though it's heavy, I'm very comfortable to it. And I have this other project that I want to do. Maybe I'll do it today. I don't know. Depends on what kind of time I have this afternoon. But I want to make a new bag for the art comber that my husband got me for my birthday last year. It's like Jerry's Artarama sells it. It's like a chair with this big bag on it that's supposed to hold a French easel, but it's just too small, just a touch too small to hold my French easel. And there was like it's not really a rip, but I think like whatever they used for the side binding didn't catch all the fabric, so there's like a gap where stuff would fall out of it. So I'm going to mend that, but I'm going to leave it be, and I'm going to make my own new bag for my French easel because the frame can come out and I can pop that in my new bag. Anyway, I'll probably do a video on that if I do it, just because somebody might also have that and have that same problem, and it might help them. I know it's such a niche topic, but who knows? Sometimes I just like to watch people make crazy things for their plein air adventures that I have no intention of doing. So I'm sure there's other people like that. And speaking of silly videos like that, part of my procrastinating this week was making an apron out of a brush roll and a pouch, and that video went up on Wednesday, and that was one of those things where I was thinking, oh my gosh, I really need to edit more because I did it in real time. And I mean, granted, a beginner could sew along with me in real time and do it because it was very easy, but I'm like, I probably could have made that 5 minutes. You know, I could have edited that down, like do this, then do the same thing on the other side instead of showing me do the same thing on the other side. You know, it was redundant, and I guess I've been very critical of my work this week, probably all summer. I don't know. I've been feeling actually this whole year, I've been feeling very critical of my own work, which is probably good. But it hasn't been I haven't been critical enough to make me improve it. So, I don't know. I'm just it's almost fall. I feel like when fall comes and the kids are all off to school and the house is quiet, I have much more room to think and plan and strive, I guess. And so hopefully that means all these little things that I've been disappointing myself with, I will manage to overcome and improve when the fall time gets here. I don't know. I'm hoping. I mean, I want people to get stuff out of my videos. I want people to learn. I don't want to bore people. I don't want people to be like, half an hour to learn how to make an apron. Somebody could teach me that in 5 minutes, you know? I just want to improve, I guess. So what else? Seems like there was something else I was gonna mention, and the thought feather has flittered away in the breeze. Let's see, what was I talking about? I was talking about making an apron. I don't know. I've lost my train of thought. So last weekend I went down to visit my parents. I haven't seen them in a while, and I had such a craving for Chinese food from this restaurant in Waterville called Ming Lee's, and they make these garlicky green beans, and oh my word, the portion sizes are humongous. The weekend before, me and the other ladies I painted with were talking about Ming Lee's. I'm like, oh my word, I haven't been there in so long. And so, and the prices are pretty good too. So for $10, you get this huge plate of green beans, and it's like rounded over. It's humongous. And then, so I ordered green beans, I ordered garlic noodles, and the garlic noodles, another huge rounded over plate. So like you have 4 meals there. So you bring home the leftovers, and it's so much food. It's so delicious. And I had such a craving for that. So I called my mom, and she's, well, get down here. Let's go out to lunch. So we did. And then we went back to her place, and her pear trees are loaded. She has like Bartlett pears, Asian pears, and some other pear. And so I picked a bunch and brought them home. They're in the garage because if I bring them into the kitchen, we're going to have fruit flies. I don't know why. They're not even ripe yet. They're still pretty firm. So they're in the garage. If anybody has any ideas on what to do with pears, please let me know in the comments below, because I don't really know other than I just eat them. But there's so many, and I don't know what to do with pears. So if you guys have any great ideas, recipes, just let me know. Pears tend to be sweet. The Asian pears are a little bit more tart, so I prefer them. But it's like, what do you do with so much sweet fruit? You know, with apples, if it's like a tangy apple, like you'd apple crisp, and I've done pear crisp before, and it's good, but it feels like it needs something tart in it. And I definitely have a preference for more sour flavors than really sweet flavors. So I don't know. I got a lot of pears. Got to think about that. One time, when we had our dog before this one, I had gotten pears from my mother's pear tree, and they were sitting on a box on the kitchen floor, and every time the dog went by, she would take a pear and she would eat them, and I didn't realize she was doing that. And then she was getting so sick, and she had the runs. And I was like, oh my word, what's wrong with the dog? And I was just like, and the dog was just a little puppy, and I thought that she had some terminal illness. I was so freaked out. And then I spotted her steal a pear. And I'm like, oh, it's the pears. I was so worried about that dog. Like, oh, what's wrong with you? But yeah, don't leave the pears down where the dogs can get them. I mean, she didn't have any permanent damage, obviously, but yeah, I was quite worried for a while there. I was like, do you have worms? Do you have a parasite? Oh, it's just too many pears. Too many pears. Oh, goodness. I'm working on a bunch of different reviews right now. That's another thing I think has got me a little bit overwhelmed, is that I have a lot of in-progress reviews. I'm working on a review for the Olo markers. Many of you have requested a review on the Olo markers since they first came out. Was it like 2 years ago? And I kind of resisted for a bit. They're pricey. But I wanted to try them out, and with Inktober coming up, I'm not sure if I'm going to do Inktober, to be honest, but I will do some marker art anyway. I thought that would be a good time to give it a try. And one of the things I was curious about with the Olo markers, because they have, rather than having like a felt pad on the inside of the marker that holds the ink, it's actually loose. The ink is like swishing around in there. And I was kind of wondering, because I draw kind of fast, I was wondering if it's going to feed out ink faster than like a regular marker, especially like when I'm making my black lines to do watercolor swatches over. And I will say that using the black marker, the black chisel marker to do my lines, I feel like it recovered a lot better than like just a regular chisel marker that I have. But I didn't really notice in the drawing or coloring with the markers that they fed ink any quicker, so that was kind of interesting. There's like a little valve in there. They actually sent me a clear marker with like the juice in it, so you could actually see the workings, the inner workings of the marker, which I thought was really fascinating. So that'll be coming up. I've done a couple little artworks with them. I haven't shared them yet. I haven't really shared much on Instagram. I haven't shared much this month, honestly. I go from like feast to famine, right? World Watercolor Month in July, I'm sharing stuff every single day, sometimes 2 posts a day. And August has been crickets. It's been maybe a couple posts a week, and I don't think I've posted anything since last Saturday, which it's kind of, it feels like you kind of have to be always paddling, you know, always putting the stuff out there in all the different places. And when you don't, it's hard to get going again. You know, if you fall out of that routine of posting every day, then, or like blogging every day. My poor neglected blog, I've only posted a couple times. I don't know. I think I went like a week without a post, and I used to post daily, and then I was like, oh, I post every time I have a video, and then it's like, oh, it's more like the highlight reel over there right now, a couple times a week, and that's about it. But so hopefully when this fall gets rolling, I can get myself into a better routine, because I am better if I do something every day. I'm better at sticking with something I do every day versus something I do every other day or 3 times a week or once a week. It's just, for me, the routine works a little bit better. I don't know why. It's like, it's almost like I feel like I need to have like a very specific routine. Or otherwise, I don't know what I do. I just kind of like, I float around in the ether. I don't know. It's like I need to have a routine, or I just completely go off the rails. I still haven't had a drink. That's been over a month now, so I thought I would feel like super duper robust and healthy. I don't feel any different whatsoever, which is a real bummer, because I was expecting a huge like level up in my well-being score, but I feel absolutely no difference. In fact, I'm probably more stressed out because I'm not having a glass of wine on the weekends while I read a book for 2 hours, so I'm probably more stressed out. Come on! I'm doing good things. Why can't I reap the rewards? Oh, I have a tip. I have something that is, it's not exciting. What am I talking about? It's not exciting. I found these things called golf skirts. I don't know if it's, let me just, can you see? Well, so they're skirt, they got shorts underneath, and there's a pocket in each short and on each leg. And when I went to the grocery store last night, I had my phone in one pocket, my wallet in my other pocket. It was perfect. It was so nice. But they're so comfortable, but I don't feel like I have sweatpants on, because I can't get anything done if I have leggings or sweatpants on. For whatever reason, I have to change, like when I get back from walking the dog, because I just feel like I'm in my pajamas. But here with like a golf skirt, even though it's as comfortable, I feel like I could just walk out the door and go to a business meeting if I was an important person that had business meetings. But I feel much more put together. But I'm still comfortable. Like I could go play pickleball in this outfit and I would be completely fine. I could go to a luncheon with a friend and I'd be completely fine. I could go out urban sketching and it's versatile. It's versatile. Golf skirts, I'm telling you. This is a 20-inch length. And I thought it might be too long. I thought it might go right to my knees, but it's actually like 2 inches above my knee, which is perfect. But I figured if it's too long, I could hem it. It's not a big deal. It was $40 for a pack of 3, and I got a black, a brown, and a tan color. So I thought that would be nice for fall. Could layer it with some tights if I needed to. And I'm a fan. It's so comfy, and true to size. So I'll leave a link if you're curious about it. You can check it out. But very comfortable. And I think they're pretty flattering. I mean, they're nothing too crazy, but you know, it's just kind of like I wouldn't call it a pencil skirt, because it doesn't really, it's not tight. It's just kind of like a straight skirt. I like it. Comfortable, but yet I feel put together. And you know, what more can we ask for, right? More comfortable than jeans, although I do like to wear jeans. So I'm just looking around to see if I have much more to chit chat about. Not really. I've got things in the works, but nothing that I know that is going to come right out. I will have my ranking my artist grade gouache video coming up. I think I have it scheduled for next Monday. And then the Lightwish 48 watercolor review will be the following Monday. I did do a little order with Blick to an intentional art supply order. So I might do an intentional unboxing because, you know, I could use the views. But other than that, I think that's about all I have going on. I hope you have a great weekend. I hope you find some time to do something creative and spend some time with your loved ones. And let me know what you're up to in the comments below. Until next time, happy crafting and bye.